for us, Father. Father God, Lord, as we go about conducting business for Poto Public Schools, we just ask, Lord, that we'll do it and bring honor and glory to you, Father. Father God, Lord, we just ask that you'll take us now through the remainder of this evening, guide us, direct us, and keep us safe. Father God, we're thankful for all that you do for us. And it's in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, it is my honor to introduce the PKMS Honor Society officers that are going to lead us in pledge.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before y'all run off, I think that Dr. Gillum was going to introduce y'all more thoroughly.
Yes, everybody. PKMS Honor Society is an organization that recognizes students who demonstrate academic achievement, leadership, quality, strong character, and community service. The students present tonight are the 2023-24 officers who were elected by their fellow PKMS Honor Society members. They are President Lawson Saki, Vice President Brayley Kirkland, Secretary Camden Black, and Treasurer Kaden Black. Thank you guys so much.
We appreciate y'all coming today and congratulations. All right, we appreciate everyone being here and we appreciate our special guests that came from PKMS who just led us in the pledge. Support Employee of the Month.
Do we want to do the call to order and roll call? Did we do that? We need to do
We
that.
have not. We skipped right over that. Yeah, roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Support Employee of the Month. I'm just really excited to get to that.
Yeah, no doubt, and I can understand why. All right, so mixing up a little bit, if I could get the board to come in front, and then we will start with primary. If primary would like to come up, we're going to have you guys on that side. Ms. Smith, you get to communicate and talk a little bit, and fill everybody in, and then we'll come through, shake everybody's hand, and we'll get rolling. So boards are in front. So you're going to be, this will be your first one. Yeah, just right there in the middle. There you go.
Well, the Poto Primary Support Employee Award goes to Roy Aldridge. Roy, you can come on down. Roy has been a custodian at the primary for the past 5 years, and when asked what he likes most about his job, he said he enjoys working with the students and the other employees, and he really does enjoy the hours after spending many, many years as the manager in the food service industry. Various teachers nominated Roy for this honor, but I'd like to read to you the reason for nomination from one specific teacher, Addison Watkins. Mrs. Watkins said, "Roy is always quick to help everyone. He is great with students and interacts well with them, sometimes even giving them extra snacks if he knows they're hungry. On more than one occasion, he's even been called upon to jump a car that won't start in the parking lot. He has a lot on his plate, but he never complains. He takes everything in stride, and you can always be assured if you call him for help, he will be right there." And as the principal, I'd just like to add a couple of things to show my appreciation to Roy. He definitely makes my life easier. He's one of the most dependable employees that I've ever supervised. And it doesn't matter what the task is, he always goes above and beyond to complete it. Even though it's not required or expected, he often works over his scheduled time just to make sure that things are well done. And Poto Primary definitely cannot function as effectively without Roy's dedication and hard work.
Keep coming down. Keep working your way down. Yeah, we're Thank you. Kelly?
Everything. I would like to present to you our Podo Upper Elementary Support Employee or District Employee of the Month, and it's Miss Carla Gillum. Carla has served Podo schools for 26 years, and during those 26 years, she has had many positions, and I know she was excellent at all of them, but I'm most happy about the one she's had for the last 7, going on 8 years, and that is the secretary at the upper elementary. When asked, "What do you love about your job?" Carla said, "I love my job because I am respected and appreciated. I feel that my needs and concerns are always considered. The most important part is my work family. I look forward to seeing my work family every day. I feel like we are a team." And Carla was also chosen as our August Upper Elementary Employee of the Month. And when I send out the form to vote, I also ask the employees to state why they chose Carla to be the August Employee of the Month. And I mean, there were lots of people voted for her, but the comments were the same. And the main one was, "Carla is amazing." And she truly is. She is always friendly, always willing to help, and is very knowledgeable of her job. And basically they said, and I feel this way too, we could not do our jobs without Carla. And I just want Carla to know how much, I think I'm going to cry, how much we love and appreciate her and how deserving of this special award she is. I know she doesn't like to be pointed out, but she truly deserves this award. Thank you, Carla.
Board members are going to put you in between these two tables, so you're kind of in between the two tables there, and then we'll split up and move you on the sides. And Christy. Turn this one down, up, or is that again? Yes, we're good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much to both of you. We really appreciate everything that y'all do. Do we have any comments from the public?
We do not.
All right. We received our minutes from the board meetings for September 11th, 2023. Do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion we approve of the board minutes of September 11th.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 All right, financial reports and encumbrances.
Yes, so Miss Valerie is gone on something she couldn't avoid, so I just passed around an item. It's right there with you, Miss Adams. So all your financials are in the packet for you. So what we're doing is we're just kind of going through the review, just a summary of what we got. Any specific questions, if I can't answer, I'll find out and we'll get back with you guys. But on this sheet that I just handed out, basically what this is it's got the years. If you look down, it's got this year up top, and then it goes last year, previous year. So as you can see with the FY 24, 23, 22, and 21. Across the top, you got basically this is our operational budget. You've got general, building, child nutrition. Here in a little bit when I go through our budget, you notice we'll be covering these same three funds because these are the ones we're going to be dealing with. These are the ones we can affect directly. If we look at general, first thing, let's look at the revenue and the expenditures there underneath the general FY24. If you compare those to 22 and on down, you'll see on the revenue side, we're significantly up. About 2 years ago, we were flat pretty much from 2 years ago, up from last year, which is good. You'll see on expenditures, we're a little up from last year, and you'll see expenditures are up higher than the revenue piece. Well, that's because of the expenditures that we've got out right now. We've got a lot of expenditures going out. Now we got a lot of revenues coming in as well, which is why both of them are up. The $625 million that we got from the state, we're going to continue to see this theme as we go through. You're going to see every month we're building on the revenue, and it's going to continue to grow. When we look at the year to date, you'll see a bigger growth margin because every month it's going to build. The expenditures are going to be the same way. As we go through, we're going to have higher expenditures because we are paying $1.18 million more this year than we did last year just on the salaries, just from the teacher bonuses and support salaries. So that's going to be the same thing. That's going to be an expenditure growth. So both are going to look larger, but we're expecting that. We understand that, and we know that's coming. So if we look at the building fund, you'll see hardly any action at all this month, which is good. That's what we want. We're wanting that to continue to grow. We'll talk about that more when we look at the year to date. And then over on child nutrition, the biggest thing on child nutrition is that $808,000 that we have as the fund balance to start the month in September. And if you look across, all of the fund balances, the general, the building, and the child nutrition, are all significantly higher than last year at this time. Once again, it's because we have additional funds. Building fund, we haven't done anything with it. We're going to spend building fund this year. We're going to spend child nutrition this year. And then once we spend, we're going to do nothing else with building fund and build again. And that's how we're going to get capital improvements done. So if we turn over to year to date, the biggest item I think to look here is in this FY24. You'll see, if you look at the right below revenue and expenditures, it says excess and deficit. The deficit is in parentheses. You'll see for where we're at right now, none of the months are in a deficit. We're up $500,000 right now, whereas last year at this time we were down $230,000. So really nice. If you go back 2 years ago, we were up $160. You go back 3 years ago, we're up $220. So being up $518 right now is really nice. Now, with that said, we're tight. We're going to continue to be tight all the way through this fall. We're going to open up in the spring. We got to get through January, and then April is our second round of property taxes. So this is going to be a continued theme where we're just going to be a little tighter because we got so much coming off of 795. We've got a lot that's coming off the books next year, and we've got to be able to have enough carryover and feel comfortable that we can move it over into general. So that's really, this whole year, you're going to see this theme continue where it looks like we're doing great, but in reality, it's almost like a facade because we know that we're doing that because next year, if we don't have that cushion, we're going to be in trouble. So, but it'll continue. But if you look at the excess versus deficit across the board, building, same way, we're just building, continuing to grow in our building fund. Child nutrition, Ms. Cindy Anson's done a really good job of trying to get a lot of those funds in that we just missed out on last year. So with the child nutrition fund, that's another item. We're going to have some pretty major projects that come through. If you look at the fund balance as of the end of the month of August, sitting at almost $900,000, that's way over what we can carry over this year. So we're going to have to spend down some of that money. So we're looking at different projects to spend down. So as we get going, you're going to have some big items come through. Just know that we have to, especially in that child nutrition, we've got to get that down. So do you guys have any questions on any of these items?
You mentioned some big projects. What kinds of, do we have an idea what those might be?
Yeah, so in building, and Devin's going to talk about this a little bit. In the building fund, we got several big ones. Are you talking child nutrition or building?
Child nutrition.
Yeah, okay. So in child nutrition, you have to be really specific on how you spend those funds. So we haven't been putting any utilities in child nutrition. We haven't been putting custodial staff in child nutrition. So we're shifting all of that because we want to put as much in child nutrition as we can. So all of our percentages are what we're working on to get the percentages maxed out for child nutrition. That's going to help spin it down. Then the things that we can do is we can come in and we can get scrubbers, custodial supplies. And those scrubbers are expensive, $10,000 for a scrubber. I mean, they're expensive. Now, we're going to use it in other spots, but let's say half the time it's working on cafeterias. Well, we can take half that money and throw it in child nutrition. So if we do any type of expansion, if we do freezer upgrades, if we do any of that stuff, it all has to tie to child nutrition to be able to come out of this fund. So we're going to have to be somewhat creative on trying to spend that much money out of child nutrition. So, good question. Anybody else? Okay. And encumbrances, Miss Valerie said there wasn't anything odd in there. If you had any questions, I might know, but it might be one of those things we have to get her to answer you because she's not here tonight.
Hey, I got one question. Are we gonna get any federal money for child nutrition?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do get federal money for child nutrition.
I saw something about that the other day.
Yeah, no, we will continue to get federal money. There's some rumors going around from the state end that some of the federal funds would get cut, but that's not at this point happening. Good question.
Any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the financial reports and encumbrances.
I move. Approve.
All right, roll call, please.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the budget for the 2023-2024 school year based on the estimate of needs.
Yeah, so I'm going to have the board, if you guys would, move to these front seats on both sides, and I'll present. We'll use the big board up here for the presentation. Okay, so to start this off, this is an operational budget. So our legal budget. Uh-oh, check left. That's how it works. Check leaves, everything falls apart. You might have to handle it manually. Oh, nope. Is it on? It is. Okay. We're good to go. Okay. So, he's like, no. All right. So, I was too. Okay. So, approved appropriations. So, realize that our estimate of needs is our legal budget. So, these are the amounts from our estimate of needs. So, this is our legal budget. Anything that we plan on budgeting cannot exceed these amounts in our three operational funds: general, child nutrition, and building fund. Okay, so first we're going to start with general fund, which is the biggest. So on the general fund, so to start us off, if you look at the district local source revenue, so that's our local ad valorem, our local growth. We did have a 6% growth this year. I only calculated 5%. So you'll see a common theme when we're talking revenue. We're going to project thin, and then when we talk expenditure, we're going to project thick, because we'd much rather have wiggle room at the end. So, pretty common. If we go down to the intermediate county sources, this is a smaller fund, but nonetheless, this is 5%. All of these are 5%. State dedicated taxes, 5%. So, even though we are going to have a little bit more than that, we're still putting it at 5. If we go down to the 3,200, the state aid appropriation, you'll see 13 million. There, that's an approximate number, because we can't be exact on this. Our state aid is, we already have our state aid allocation right now. So if that was it, then I could put a number up here. But we're also going to get a midterm adjustment, which I think will be pretty significant this year. I won't know for sure for another month. And so hopefully next month I'll be able to tell you guys what we're projecting on the midterm adjustment. But so this is an approximate number. But you'll see it's a pretty significant jump. It's a $1.5 million jump in state aid. That's because of that $623 million we got from the state. So that's all shown right there. The next number is federal sources. That's the accurate amount, that's the exact number, so I just pulled that off our state reporting for federal funds. The next item, which is non-revenue receipts, you'll see that varies pretty significantly. So I just did a 5% growth. And then on fund balance, that's the carryover. That is our actual carryover, which puts us at a total projected revenue at $26 million, which is pretty significant. I mean, that's a good amount. Now you'll see our actual. We'll get to expenditures here, and I'll show you kind of where our expenditures match up to the other. So when we're talking general revenue, what this does, it kind of breaks it down and shows you what we got going in the different areas. State aid eats up. I mean, that is over half of all of our budget. If you look from left to right, federal sources, that's 16%. That's the one that we're saying we're going to take a hit next year. We're going to lose a lot of that because next year we lose all of our 795 money, which is, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk numbers with you. We lose all of our COVID relief funds, which jump into a bunch of different project numbers. So there's a huge amount of COVID that we're losing. So that's why we're trying to be healthy going into the end of the year to prepare for next year, which we're fine. We'll continue to operate the way we have. Be tight in fall, open up a little bit in spring, but then know that we're in a good spot moving into next fall. The carryover amount is there. We talked about district, local sources there, intermediate and state dedicated funds. So basically that's everything we talked about, numbers just in a visual so you can get a chance to look at it in a little different format. If any of the board members have any questions as we go through, just speak up. So on state aid comparisons, so all this is just state aid. And you'll see this year, I mean, we've been pretty flat prior to this, but now this year we've got a pretty significant jump in state aid. And we talked about it, but just another way to see it. Local valuation increase, this one is really odd to me. So this is your growth in our city, how much we're growing, how much taxes are increasing, those type of things, how much it's bringing in. So a 6.77 growth is great for us this year comparatively. You'll see that 21, 22 were both, I mean, that's COVID years. So 20 was good, and then COVID happened. We took a pretty deep dip. 176 is a deep dip, and we've been recovering. And this was a huge year for us to recover. So that's a big win for us. You'll see over the last 9 years we're 3.33 as a projected average growth. So as an average growth. So I think this year was 6.77 really sits good with me, especially with some of the other things that we've got coming into the town. I feel like we continue to grow. We could continue to grow in our valuations just from a local. So that's a big win. All right, expenditures. So this one is a little different. So we're gonna, across the board, we're just on the proposed far right FY24, we're just projecting big. So we took all of our FY23 numbers, we went 10%, which if you remember on revenue, we only did 5. So we've got a cushion built in here, and we do that because we want to end up in a good spot. And so you'll see, without going through them all, we're at $22 million on our total expenditures. Our estimated need number for that general fund was $24 million. So we still are under our estimated needs number. So if at the end we come in a little over, it's not going to be a huge deal for us. Let's say we have some major items that come through and we're way over, we can still do supplementals. So even though our estimated needs sets our legal limit, there are ways for us to go in, fill out some forms, get some stuff done, jump through some hoops, and then we can exceed that with the supplemental, which you guys would have to approve if we do that. So we certainly don't want to have to come and get supplementals, but there's going to be times where it can't be avoided. So ultimately, we're in a good spot on our expenditures and our revenues with general fund. Any questions on general fund before we move on? Okay. Much like we did with the revenue, just taking a look at this one. And on the expenditure side, it's a little misleading. So if you look at the 60%, that big red, you'll see that's instruction. But when you just look at that and think, well, we're only spending 60% on instruction, it's really misleading. Our instructional cost is 80.53. That's a report we have to do for the state. So you'll see support services, students, and and other items in it fall in that as well, not just the 60%. So from Poto's standpoint, we're putting a lot of our revenue towards the students. Okay, and then back on this slide, you'll see all these different things on the right. Instruction is at the top. That is for kids. Support services, students. You'll see how everything goes. Like 2400, that's our school administration. School administration. What color is that? Somebody fix it before I do.
Green.
Okay, green. So 2%. I mean, it's tiny. So you will hear from the state administration eating up a huge piece of budgets and those things. Not the case. There's not a public school in our state that has an administration that eats up a very large part of your budget. Our budget, just like everybody else's, is going to students. All right. So, building fund. All right. So, on the building fund, much like we did on the general, we're going to project in on revenue, and we're going to be thick on the expense. So if you look at the very top there, that's your district, your local revenue, which we do. Just like I was talking about a 6% gain on the general side, but that's the same thing here. It's the exact same mills that we did here, so it's the same. So that's a 5% growth up at the top. You'll see $750,000 there underneath stayed appropriated. That's our approximation for Redbud. So Redbud, if you remember, I'm sure you've heard about it, it's a fund that came in, and last year we ended up with $350,000, I believe. And this year, the numbers haven't come out, so the official numbers aren't here, but we're projecting $750,000. Talked with some of my contacts over the state, that's the number that we're getting, so that's the number I'm going with. If it's off, it's off, but it's not official, so we don't have the official numbers. So we're having to play poke and dagger a little bit to figure it out. So on federal sources, 4,000, that's our COVID funds. So those are the funds we're talking about, they're going to go away. We plan on spending a pretty good chunk of our federal funds through the building this year because we're going to have some projects. So that puts us in, you got the balance sheet there, so that puts us at 2.9 as revenue. If you could jump down to the expenditure, you'll see that top line, that's operation and maintenance plant services. So that's contracts like our elevator contract and just a lot of different contracts that we have put into that expenditure side of building. We don't have any personnel in there, which is good. And I think as we go forward, we're going to continue to try to take even that $300,000 out. I really want building fund to be dedicated for capital improvement, and it's not going to happen if we have $300,000 eating out of it every year because we have different types of services that we're taking out of that fund. So that's a project this year. It is what it is. To come into next year, I think that's one of the things that I hope when I do this presentation with you next year, we'll have a different number there. Because I think for us to get the capital improvement that we need, we're going to have as much of that fund as we can dedicated to facilities in our district. Facility acquisition, improvement, construction, that's the $1.5 million. So we are looking at spending a bunch of our building fund this year. I mean, we build it up to spend it on facilities, so that is going to be the game plan. Devin will talk with you guys about that every single month because there's going to be projects going nonstop throughout the year. Any questions on building fund? Okay. Child nutrition? All right, so at the top, child nutrition, you'll see those numbers just flat. So we did FY23, and we just brought a flat number over. The only thing that's different is the carryover, the balance sheet fund there at the bottom. That's why the numbers are different. But bottom line is we're going to operate as flat as we can on the revenue side, knowing that we're looking to spend and probably not. There's some opportunities out there for grants and different things, but I got one today on what's it called? I did it at Bruce School, and it's a cool grant. You get all kinds of cool things that you need for child nutrition, but we're like, no, we don't want it because we're going to be trying to spend as much as we can in that fund to not get penalized on the carryover for next year. So, so anyway, that's the revenue side. On the expenditure side, so basically we just did a 10% increase, much like we did on the other funds on the expenditure side, which could be accurate. you'll see 500,000 is spent. Oh, this thing probably does have, oh my gosh, but it doesn't show up very good. Okay. Dang it, Chuck, I should have been using that the whole time. So this 500,000 here, is facility acquisition improvement. That's the money that I was saying we're gonna try to be spending this year in our child nutrition. So overall, it's 1.6 million. We have 1.8 million in our estimated needs. So, and then here it was 1.8 million, and we have 1.976. So we're well under our estimated needs number across the board, knowing that we do have a little bit of wiggle room if we get tight on that. So I don't project us doing supplemental this year, but we could, because you never know. Come April, something big happens, and we have to come because it's supplemental. But I don't see it. I think our budget's going to be pretty spot on with what we're talking about. But it could change as we go. So any questions on our operational budget? Okay. Thank you, guys. Chuck? Chuck left. Well, thank you. That's this little thing. I should have used it. That was awesome.
We need to approve that, correct?
We do need to approve.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'd entertain a motion to approve or not approve the budget for the 2023-2024 school year based on the estimate of needs.
I make a motion, we approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes. Yes.
Adams,
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the election resolution for the election of school board members, seat number 4.
Yeah, so this is seat number 4, Mr. Earl Job's spot. The filing period would be December 4th through the 6th. So based on that filing period, if we get 3 or more candidates that are in that, then we will have a primary. Primary will be February 13th. If we have 2 or less, well, if we have less, we wouldn't need it at all. But if we have 2, we'd have to have the general election runoff, which is on April 2nd. If we have the primary, we will also have the general election April 2nd. So, and there's a whole bunch of things we have to do to make sure that's in the courthouse and everything's appropriate, but.
Does anyone have any questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion we approve said resolution.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
McKee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve Valerie Martin to serve as treasurer for Poto Public Schools.
So we had this last month, but we put chief financial officer. Well, for the actual thing, it has to say treasurer. So just coming to you again, just for the wording of this.
All right, is there a
Move we
motion?
approve.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Joe,
Yes.
McKee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the Indian education bylaws.
The Indian Education Committee met on September 12th to review their bylaws. They decided not to make any changes this year, so it's the same as what you approved last year. So ask that you approve it for this year.
Can those bylaws can I get copies of those at the superintendent's office if they want copies of the bylaws?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else have any questions? Not, I'd entertain a motion to approve or not approve.
I make a motion, we approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the Johnson O'Malley Committee bylaws.
Johnson O'Malley Committee met on September 12th also to review their bylaws, and the parent committee decided against making any changes, so it's the same as what was approved last year.
I move we approve. Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
McKee,
Yes.
Discussion of vote to approve, were you trying to say something?
No, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Discussion of vote to approve or not approve updates to the additional extra duty assignments list for 2023, 2024.
There were two items on your, that pink paper. I think they're at the very bottom of yours. Item one is SEC, Tech Ed teacher. So we had the high school listed, but we didn't have the SEC listed. So we just want to make sure that was on there so it didn't look like anything shady was happening, trying to be transparent. The second item is the YAB. That's the 9,300, I believe, on there. That's a pretty significant one. That's from the Choctaw Nation, and it's been in there. This isn't new, and this is totally given by the Choctaw Nation, so we don't control that stipend at all. But it's for a YAB program that we have at POTO. So those two things weren't on there, and they should have been. This is not anything new, but we want to make sure they're on there for you guys to approve.
All right, anyone have any questions or comments? Not, I'd entertain a motion to approve or not approve.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the days to hours worksheet for school year 2023, 2024.
Yeah, so this is an accreditation item that we have to turn in. So I think we've done it in the past, just different than this. So I don't think it's anything really new because you had to have something, unless we didn't approve days to hours at all, which I'm assuming we have. So basically what it does is it converts our number of days to an hour total. You have to have 1080 hours in our state. So you can see we're well above that threshold. So what this would allow is if we had snowpocalypse hit us this year, which some of them are predicting, and let's say we had 4 or 5 days, it gives us the option as a board not to add days to the end of our calendar, but simply, since we converted to hours, not make those days up. So to me, it's a no-brainer. We go ahead and we do it because it just gives us the flexibility. If we decide at the end we want to make those days up, we can. But if we don't have this done, then it takes that option off the board for us.
Anyone have any questions or comments? Not, anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Joe,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the removal of Dr. John Turner from the signatory list for the safety deposit box at Central National Bank and add Scott Kipnick.
So there's only one person that has access to that, I guess. And right now we have no idea what's in there. So it's kind of like we're excited to just see what's in there. It's going to be like 2 pieces of paper, but that's okay.
All right. Anyone have any questions or comments or want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we, Scott, is in charge of the safe deposit box at Central National Bank.
All right. Is there a
I'll
second?
second it.
All right. Roll call, please.
Joe,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve a contract agreement with Jordan Resource Management.
So this is our contract with Alice Smith as a grant writer for Poto Public Schools. She's been really instrumental in trying to help us get this latest grant that we've got submitted and turned in. It was a $50,000 grant for safety items. We won't know if we've got that for another week or so, but if we do get it, then we will pay her 7% of that grant. So if it's a $50,000 grant, we would owe her $3,500. And moving forward, however big the grant is, it's a 7% fee for her if she's writing the grant. So for us, we need additional grant writers, and I could very likely be coming to you with somebody else too, because we need to have grant writers on board to secure some of these funds. Anytime for us to pay $3,500 to gain $50,000 it's a huge win for a district if we can secure some grant writers.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
That's a pretty fair rate.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we approve it.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
McGee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Gilpin,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the contract agreement with Eastern Oklahoma Medical Center for telemedicine services.
Yeah, so I think we had this going strong, and then it's kind of fallen off a little bit. So we met with them, and we've got the machines, so we're just wanting to continue our services with them. It's not going to be any additional cost to us, and it could provide a really good service. So we're trying to figure out the best way to make it work. I think we're going to focus on elementary at this point, and then we got 3 machines, so I think that's going to be the focus moving forward.
Anyone have any questions? Not, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the EOMC, agreement.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Adams,
I'm gonna abstain because I wrote it.
Thompson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
All right, discussion and vote to approve or not approve membership with the Oklahoma Purchasing System.
Okay, so the Oklahoma Purchasing System, they call TOPS, was created last year by the Oklahoma legislature. It only deals with construction projects. There has been similar cooperatives such as Buy Board, TIPS, and other programs in other states that have something similar, but this is the first time it's been expanded to construction projects. So what this is run by the Atoka School Board, and it allows, they've already contracted with different companies. They solicited bids for different things such as turf and lighting, such as electrical contractors, roofing contractors, and they've awarded bids to those companies. So if we have a project that comes along, we can go to that company and say, hey, come look at this project for us. They will give us a bid. We can choose if we have somebody local that we want to use, we can go to them and go through the normal bid process as we would, or we can, this allows us to bypass the bidding process and go with an approved vendor already. If we approved and went with them, we would send the scope of work and the contract with that vendor to TOPS. They would send it to their lawyers to make sure that everything was appropriate. It also uses the RSM standard book. So if you think of that as when you go to get body work done somewhere and the insurance company says to replace this fender, it takes 1.5 hours. Okay, so they have the same kind of deal for construction work, and that's what TOPS will compare that bid that they received from our work, our scope of work. They will compare that, is that within the scope of what the industry says it is. So that's how that works. It doesn't cost us anything to be a member of this. TOPS gets their monies from the contractors. They get 2% of any awarded bids.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
This done sort of through the central purchasing.
It is not, it's separate from that. It's, like I said, it's run by the Atoka School Board, but it was approved by the legislature last October.
I did look up the statute, and it is
Yeah.
legal, and that was my first question too, was why can't we just go through the central purchasing center and utilize the ones that they have, but this is a separate
Well,
deal.
that's neat, they can do that. Sure does save a lot of time, money, and effort.
That's what I was saying in emergency.
For sure.
And this is just isn't for schools. I mean, cities and other public entities can utilize this program as well.
Anybody else have any other questions or discussion they want to have? Or does anyone want to make a motion?
I make a motion, we allow them to enter the Oklahoma Purchasing Interlocal Corporation Agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Thompson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Adams.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the contract with Public Consulting Group for the 2023-2024 school year.
Yeah, this is a regular item that we come to you guys with. We did not utilize it last year like we probably should have, but this allows us to claim Medicaid on some of our kiddos that are special education. So it's another funding source. Once again, we don't have to utilize it, but we will be utilizing it this year because why would we not try to secure as much funding as possible? So.
All right, anyone have any questions with regards to, or comments, discussion? Anyone want to make a motion?
I move we approve the contract with the PCG group.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Discussion of vote to approve or not approve a memorandum of understanding with I Love You Guys Foundation.
Yeah, so this is our emergency crisis protocol. It's free curriculum. We've been using it. We just have never been a part of the memorandum of understanding, which we're supposed to. So it's just getting us in line with what we need to be doing. We've got our SROs working with us. In fact, tomorrow morning at our admin meeting, we're going over more of these to have a better understanding of what this is. Even though we've had it and we've utilized it, I'm new to the district, and we want to have a better understanding of it. I think we can utilize it better than what we're doing. So this isn't really any of that. This is just the memorandum of understanding saying that we are going to be using this curriculum.
Make a motion to approve memorandum.
All right,
This is for safety issues, correct?
Yes, sir.
I
So if
understand.
we have someone on a campus that shouldn't be, and we need to go in a holding pattern or a lockdown, this is the procedures for that.
we have a first to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Thompson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes. Discussion of vote to approve or not approve a contract amendment for order number 1 and a contract with Presence for service order number 3.
Yeah, so we brought presents to you guys in a previous board meeting. We previously had 2 different contracts with them. And so this is for our speech pathology services, which we've got to have, and our numbers continue to grow. So for us, we've got to serve those kiddos. The item number 1 is actually a reduction in hours. So it reduces the contract from 120 to 120,000 down to 99,000. So that's the first item that you guys would be approving here, the order number 1. Order number 3 is a new contract for 88,000. It is specifically for some of our nonverbal students that are special education students that need specific devices to help them in this area. So this entire piece is dedicated to helping a group of our students that need this assistance. So I'm hoping not to come to you guys again with another speech path contract, but no promises. Because it's speech paths in the state are just very hard to find, and a lot of people are having to go with companies, and we're finding ourselves in that same boat. But if you recall, earlier in the year, we did hire a speech path, so we actually have speech paths, and we're looking at hopefully getting more. That's one of the few open positions that we have. If we find a speech path that's wanting to come, we're going to be hiring them because we know we're going to need them, and that allows us to get away from contracts with other companies. So.
Any discussion or questions? I'd entertain a motion to approve or not approve.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Joe,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the gifted and talented plan for the 2023-2024 school year.
Our Gifted Local Advisory Committee met September the 28th to review the gifted educational plan. Last year we made changes. This year we decided there were no changes necessary, so it's the same plan that we had in place last year.
Anyone have any questions with regards to that? Entertain a motion to approve or not approve.
I make a motion, we approve the gifted education plan.
Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the activity fundraisers for the 2023-2024 school year.
Yeah, I think it was just two in there, both are the same. It's band, bake sale, so not a lot this month on the fundraisers.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please. Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve out-of-state activity trips for Poto boys, girls wrestling teams.
Yeah, so we've got 3 total trips, Rogers, Fayetteville, and Greenwood, all in Arkansas. Nothing here that we haven't done in the past, so, but once again, anytime we go out of state, we want to bring them to you guys so that you guys are aware. And this is boys and girls, so it does affect both of those.
I make a motion, we approve them.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve an out-of-state activity trip for Special Olympics.
Yeah, so this is in Fort Smith, it'd be November 1st, it would be bowling. So as you know, our Special Olympics, they don't have a lot of activities, so really excited that they have an opportunity to go and compete, and I think it'd be really cool.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve surplus items.
We did have a list from Upper Elementary, and Devin, I know, is working hard on all the surplus items. He gets excited when we talk surplus. It's a nightmare trying to deal with surplus.
And there's a pencil holder on here, if anybody.
Some Christmas hats,
Right.
I'll come see you afterward.
All right, does anyone have any questions, or I'd entertain a motion to approve?
I move we approve.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
New business.
None.
Do we want to entertain the softball practice?
Oh, we could, if we want, yeah, we could. So tomorrow, we've got softball. They're playing state on turf, so they're wanting to be able to go and participate on a turf field. Well, that's in Arkansas. So if you guys, we can put that on new business, you guys approve it, and then we continue the practice of any out-of-state stuff's getting approved by the board. So really good timing on this, so, yep.
I make a motion, we approve them to go.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think it's the first time the girls have qualified for state in 20 years.
We've been on a while.
19.
They
19?
qualified years, I
So-
can remember a little while ago.
18?
18.
Wow,
So that's pretty exciting,
For
definitely
sure,
it's awesome.
need to give them every opportunity to be prepared.
be
All right.
successful.
Yes. Facilities report.
Okay, quite a few things going on. First off, on Ideal Impact, the energy conservation project, they've given us a tentative date of starting installation on November 6th. So hopefully at the next board meeting, we'll have some progress. They'll be here and installing all kinds of new energy-saving devices. Work is still going on at the movie theater in the lobby where we had the flooding earlier this year. Things are looking good there. They've pretty much got the sheetrock and a lot of the painting complete. Still waiting on completing the flooring, but that should be hopefully wrapped up in the next couple of weeks as well. The electric bus, the charging station has been, they've started installing the charger today, and hopefully they'll have that wrapped up tomorrow. We still, once we get it installed, we have to get the company that manufactured it, they have to send a representative in to commission it before it can be used. And the bus is also I verified this afternoon, is in Oklahoma. It's in Oklahoma City. They're installing our camera system in it, so it should be here sometime next week. So,
Awesome.
so good things there. Treats Solutions, our janitorial supply partner, they are still gathering up new dispensers and everything for us, but they should start installing new equipment in the next week or two, maybe after fall break when they get here. So that's exciting, get started with that company. The high school hallway demolition, I've spoken with Michael Riley some more on paring that down a little bit. He's trying to check on some codes as far as exactly what the fire department, fire marshal requires of us to allow access to that building, to the two-story building. So we're still working on that, getting that done. The high school gym, air conditioning, and mechanical drawings have been submitted to us. We have reviewed those. I've reviewed those with Michael and some of our local staff here. Minor changes, just a couple things to verify before we finalize those and get that out to bid. So hopefully be able to kick that off and hopefully have something by next summer, I hope, let's say. But that's it.
All right. Anyone have any questions? All right. Superintendent's report, parent-teacher conferences.
Yep, so district-wide, parent-teacher conferences went great. District-wide, we had 1,173 total parents at all sites. That's 58% of our district, so that's a huge win district-wide. As you know, the lower grades you go, the more participation you get. The higher you go, you can't get them there no matter what you do. So the highest participation, not a shocker, was at the primary, 385 parents, 89%. And Christy and Kelly both were saying that their numbers were a little bit down this year, so in the fall. So hopefully in the spring we get those numbers back up, but it was a good turnout overall. On the successes, obviously softball we've talked about. Cross country is getting to the point where they've got several athletes that are in the top of cross country and 4A, so really excited to see how that goes moving into regionals and state and all that's coming up. Football's undefeated, everybody knows that. Our FFA has been tearing it up as of late. We've had some major awards. Mr. Ballard, in fact, would you like to share a little bit of our latest award that was given?
Yeah, our academic team submitted a trailer, a welding trailer, at the Tulsa State Fair, and actually won overall grand champion out of over 100 different projects.
Awesome.
So it was a massive win.
Wow, congratulations to
Good
them.
Yeah.
Job well done.
Yeah, really excited. I mean, we got so many programs doing great things. Band is competing right now too, so they're again this weekend, I think.
This weekend in Banks, and then
Yeah.
regionals Wednesday.
Yeah, so I mean, they're coming up and their season as well. They're having success, so really excited. Our academic team, I don't know if anybody's got a chance, Ms. Tiller and I were able to step into our academic team and get to watch them compete. They're undefeated on the year, ranked number 1 in the state, I think.
They just went undefeated today, districts.
So they could be the very first team in the history of the academic teams to go undefeated. Is that right, Mr. Ballard? Had you heard that?
Fact check, I'm sure.
Okay. I got that on an email today or something. Somebody had said that. So that would be really cool if they could go totally undefeated for the year, but maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. But needless to say, they're doing well. We got a lot of different programs doing awesome things right now. And then we also want to take a minute and recognize our JOM program. We've had some successes in that as well.
Yep. When we went to a superintendent's luncheon sponsored by the Choctaws in August, we were just so thrilled to see PODO recognized there for the good things they're doing. The National Johnson O'Malley Association actually awarded our JOM program with an exemplary honorary mention program award for Region 3, which covers like 22 states. And I know my past year here, I don't know that I was more impressed with the program than our JOM and all the things that they bring in that benefits not only these students, but really all of our students are able to see the culture and stuff. And I don't think anyone works harder than Julie Marvin, so we want to recognize her tonight with this award.
does the board want to get in this photo op as well? I mean, we're gonna do photos, so.
Are you sitting over there?
I'll be on this side, you wanna be on that side?
You can't put it next to me either, so.
Over here in the middle, right there on that middle crack, and then you're the center. I'll let you guys come in. Jody, you might wanna be on the other side of Dennis, cause I don't make you look as small.
That way a little bit. Down a little bit more. Mr. McGee, Coach Joe, a little bit more that way. There we go. Centered up there.
Awesome. Thanks, sir. Thank you. Board, you might want to just stay up here because we got another one coming. So, I've also got one. So I would like to take a minute and honor Dr. Bobby Gillen. So we had the East Central Teacher of the Year last year. This is 33 states. This is the entire eastern half of the United States. And so she was the Teacher of the Year. Poto has won 4 national awards in the past 3 years. So needless to say, our JLM program is being recognized across the state. Good stuff.
Now that we've sat, is there anything else before I entertain a motion to go into executive session? Anyone want to move for us to go into executive session?
Make a motion, we move into executive session?
I'll second his motion.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 All right, it is 7:02.
something, William. Keep hearing it.
All right, the board met in executive session to discuss personnel items and land matters, and no other matters were discussed as authorized by Title 25 Oklahoma Statute, Sections 307B and the applicable subsections thereof of the Oklahoma Open Meeting Act. Those present were the board members and Mr. Kempnick. The board did not take any official votes or actions in executive session and returned to open session at 7:28 PM. I would entertain a motion to approve or not approve adjunct teacher status.
I make a motion, we approve the adjunct teacher.
I'll second.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I don't think any action is needed under number 33. If we haven't missed anything, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn. Second it.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's get
All right,
everything
thanks
signed.
everyone for coming. Yep.